Xiaomi is launching the Mi Band 4. It's the latest generation of its almost world-conquering wearables line. The dirt-cheap tracker comes with a bigger, sharper display, microphone, and NFC, as well as a new gyroscope feature. Improved movement tracking means that for the first time, the band can be used to automatically record your swim laps, for instance. The Mi Band gets a 0.95-inch color AMOLED display with a resolution of 120 by 240. That's an increase of 0.78 inches and 80 by 120. As before, optional NFC lets you use mobile payments, and the microphone lets you answer calls or access Xiaomi's voice assistant. To celebrate a tie-in with Marvel, there's also an Avengers series limited edition of the NFC watch that includes a tailored UI. Xiaomi is the world's second largest wearables company, after Apple that is, selling millions of its trackers in Asia every quarter. Naturally, if you want to bring one over to the West, well, you may have to buy it through a gray market or import it otherwise. If so, though, then you can pick up the vanilla edition for about $169. That's $24 US, while the NFC version is priced at $33, with the Avenger edition costing you around $50. And speaking of Apple, Mattel is introducing Hot Wheels ID. It lets kids race their NFC-enabled Hot Wheels on its Smart Track and then scan their collections into a free iOS app. In the app, well, it kind of acts as a virtual garage. Kids can track speed and laps via infrared sensors in the Hot Wheels race portal, which scans in your cars and connects to classic Hot Wheels tracks. It sounds great for kids who are into obsessively tracking details and using cold hard data to back up claims on whose car is the fastest. Companies have tried to find ways to keep classic brands alive by bolting on digital components before, but sometimes in ways that felt too forced. N-Key Drive, it's another toy that launched as an Apple exclusive, was a smartphone-controlled racing game with a similar focus on stats. But the company ultimately folded, having never really found an audience. And Hot Wheels itself has toyed around with incorporating technology into its classic lineup of race cars, from a disappointing augmented reality game that only worked on a certain device to remote-controlled cars that really didn't work that well either. But robotics companies like N-Key and Sphero have opened up an interesting market that mixes the physical and digital worlds, and it feels like traditional toy companies are now kind of finding their footing. Hot Wheels ID at least keeps the aspect of physical play alive and supplements that experience with virtual challenges and mini-games. For kids who already own Hot Wheels tracks, they can just use a phone or the race portal to scan in the new ID cars, which have NFC chips on the bottom to store the car's performance data. According to Engadget, that means the app isn't strictly necessary and kids won't have to borrow mom's phone every time that they want to play, since data can transfer over later on. The advantage of getting the Smart Track kit, though, would be the included booster for launching the cars, which Hot Wheels calls its fastest and most powerful ever. And being able to track distance and speed with the Smart Track's 16 USB-connected pieces, well, that's pretty cool too. The set is available exclusively at Apple.com and Apple stores, and an Android version of the app will be available on Google Play starting on July 10th. Individual Hot Wheels ID vehicles cost about $6.99, while the race portal, which includes 2 ID cars, is $39.99. The Smart Track kit, which comes with 2 ID cars, the Smart Portal, and 16 track pieces, it's a bit pricey for a toy, but I think well worth it in this situation. Maybe. $179.99, that will set you back. And now time for random headlines. These are stories that I just didn't have time to get to today, but I thought deserved a little attention. If you want more info, Google the headline. Even Tyson is selling meatless protein alternatives. Huawei's foldable Mate X is delayed until September. Samsung's $100 Galaxy Fit tracker focuses on the basics. Apple's new Logic Pro X is built for the Mac Pro. America's renewable energy capacity overtakes coal for the first time. Fall Guys is a mini battle royale game with up to 100 jelly bean dudes. Tesla's first V3 supercharging stations are open to the public. Chrome can now display websites in dark mode if you want it to. Google Maps are now showing your speed while you're driving, and pre-orders of the Atari Retro VCS console are now available and starting at $249. And finally, happening in this week's What the, Leon Valley Police say a well-trained trio took Shark Week a little too far, stealing a horn shark from the San Antonio Aquarium Saturday afternoon. According to the Leon Valley Police Chief, the group stole the shark from an open pool where visitors are allowed to reach in and pet the various species in the tank. 2 men and a woman are wanted in connection with the theft. The police chief said one of the men grabbed the shark by the tail while the others wrapped it in a wet blanket, went into a back room, put the shark in a bucket, and then put the bucket in a stroller. According to Jenny Spellman, the general manager of the San Antonio Aquarium, an employee noticed what was going on and immediately notified management. Spellman said the men went into a back room and put the shark into a San Antonio Aquarium bucket that had a bleach solution in it. She said that the bleach might have shocked the shark's system. The men are then seen on surveillance emerging from the room with the bucket, loading the bucket into the bottom of a stroller. The group attempted to pass the shark off as a baby after that. Spellman went out to the parking lot to confront the group about the shark theft. One of the men refused to let Spellman search the truck and said that his son was sick and that he needed to leave immediately. The man got into the truck and drove away, leaving the woman and the other man behind. And I'm presuming from the story that they fled the scene as well. Police have tracked down the truck and retrieved the shark and are trying to determine who was driving the truck at the time of the theft. If not the truck's owner, who was it? Police said that they have a person of interest in custody and have impounded the truck for the time. So far, no charges have been filed, but the suspects, when caught, are facing felony theft charges in connection with the case. Thanks for watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think we should feature on the program, you need to shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Your Weekly Tech Update, and check out the podcast, audio and video versions available on iTunes, Google, Spotify, Audio Burst, and elsewhere on the interwebs. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world. Your Weekly Tech Update brought to you by Holiday Home Care, Phillip Island, Victoria, Australia. It's your turn to relax.